So that's the struggle within prayer. That every time I pray, I should question very briefly. You don't have to go too deep. That when it's time of salah, there should be this universal thought in the back of my mind that I'm approaching this prayer. I'm not articulating the meaning of prayer to my mind, but I already know its importance and I'm going towards it. That is a point of reverence. And that point of reverence is what gives tranquility to the heart. That's why Allah says, "Ala bi-dhikrillah tatma'innu al-qulub." Indeed, the remembrance of Allah calms the hearts down. Allah bi-dhikrillah tatma'innu al-qulub. So tatma'innu al-qulub here is very important. By the way, you will notice the most dangerous human being in the world is an angry human being. The most destructive people on earth are angry people. They sometimes don't necessarily show it, but if you look at the core principles of what they live for, it's all based on anger. People who commit crimes, people who commit murders, people who join gangs. If you ever look at why they do what they do, it's just anger, anger, anger. Anger is the most lethal. As I say, anger is poison. Clear. We understand that. Anger takes us in states of irrationality. We become irrational human beings when we're angry. You ever notice when you're angry, you lose your logic. You lose your rationality. Did you notice that? Why? Because the minute you're angry, you have a skewed rationality. And then when you become calm, you say, wow, I did that, I said that. Says, yeah. In that mind, in that state of anger, everything looks different. It's perfect for you that way. That's a satanic state of mind to be in. And anger brings anxiety, which brings destruction, which actually breaks even your immune system. Now let's put all these equations together. We say, well, how do I solve this problem? Well, get out of anger. The best solution for getting out of anger is remembrance of Allah. 100%. As much as anybody can say, I've studied this area long enough. I am convinced beyond the shadow of doubt that the way you will have tranquility is when you conquer yourself with death. And death can never be conquered unless you know Allah. You know, it's interesting, I was watching the show last night, actually today, on TLC. You know, some of you may have seen it on OCD. You know what's OCD? Obsessive Compulsive Disorder. There's a guy, one of the patients they were showing, he works out 6 times a day. He goes home, 1 hour, goes back to the gym, and he works out. Constant. So he literally has no family life. He has children, but he doesn't spend time with them. So this therapist is asking him why. He says, I have fear of death. And I figured out, he's a mathematician, the probability that if I work out and I put enough hours of workout in the gym, I will live longer. And he's so convinced, it's become compulsive. Now this therapist is trying to get him out of this state. But in my mind, I'm looking at him, I said, he is so terrified of death. And the therapist says to him, you've got to stop. He says, no. I'm convinced, and I must avoid death. I'm already 52 years of age. My probability is increasing every hour, and I need to fight it. Look at the human mind, how capable it is of coming to that conclusion. It's so true, right? But look at the way he is resolving it through compulsion. And he's become a slave of his own action. And I said, if only you knew how to conquer death, you'd be so happy. You'd meet death like a person meets the bull by the horn. You see how Ali said it? He says, conquer death by meeting it head on. Prepare yourself. That's why he says, I am so eager to meet this death, like the child is eager to meet the milk of its mother. Meet the death. What does it mean? Are you suicidal? No. Do you take care of your health? Yes. Do you want a prolonged life? Yes. But you've got death checked, and it says, anytime you come, I'm ready for you. That's tranquility. You know, يَا أَيَّتُهَا النَّفْسُ الْمُطْمَئِنَّةُ ارْجِعِي إِلَىٰ رَبِّكِ رَاضِيَةً. What a beautiful verse. All you whose heart is at rest, return to your Lord. Please, come back. What success. We talk about degrees and getting PhDs and MDs and masters. Please, that's worldly. It's important. It's worldly. Do it. Get it. Get the Harvard degree. Get all the best degrees. But let's face it, that's just a stepping stool. But that degree, when death meets you, you're ready. Oh, what a success. Okay. Any other questions? surprised I've exhausted the question.
Could you speak a little bit more about the summer camp?
Yes. What would you like to know?
Who was it for? I mean, is it just children, or what about the ladies? Does it have anything for them? You know.
Okay. Tawheed camp, that's Camp Taha, is the first Muslim camp that we know of in the world. Even our Sunni brothers don't have such a thing. In fact, when we purchased the place, ISNA came and visited, Islamic Society, they came to visit the camp. And they said, how did you get this facility? Because there's no Muslim camp designed for Muslims by Muslims. We usually rent the YMCAs and the other Jewish camps. So we purchased this camp about 2 years ago, and we've spent close to $3 million already in the property. And we've built 3 villages. There are 106-acre property, and there are 3 villages with a 5-acre lake in the middle. And there's a 3,000-acre lake next to us, which we have rights to, and we have a river too. So we have 3 villages. There's a family village, a boys village, and a girls village. The girls village is entirely enclosed. They have their own cabins inside. They have their own soccer field, their own tennis court, their own swimming pool, basketball, volleyball, they have everything. It's a village. Then the boys have their own village, the same. They have their own swimming pool, tennis courts, and everything. They're all brand new. Then we have a 20,000 square foot dining hall, which we're still constructing. And then families have their cabins. There are log cabins built by the Amish. And we decided to create these 3 villages because when we run the camps, we run it for all different groups to come in. So Tawheed Camp, which you're looking at now, is a family camp. And Tawheed Camp has been running for 18 years so far, but we usually rent the facility. And our camps run for 2 weeks, typically. So this year, there's 2 camps running for 16 days each, and it's for families. So all ages can come. The majority of the participants are teenagers, but parents come, and they have the family cabins that they stay in. So we have teenagers who come, old and young alike. We get about 200 people per camp. And right now we're almost full on the July camp. We've reached almost capacity. So the August camp now is filling up fast. I think we've reached about 70% full already for the August camp. And it's a 16-day camp filled with programs. Programs, activities. We have scholars who come and visit on weekends. We have all types of dynamic programs, sports programs too. We have leagues, tennis leagues, basketball leagues, everything. But fully wrapped around an Islamic environment. So 5 daily prayers, discussions, bonfire discussions. We have all types of very intensive philosophical discussions till 3, 4 in the morning. Sometimes, Very interesting. And you're all welcome to come. It's online. I think the brochure shows that you can go online and you can do all the registration on the website. Yeah, you can register online, and we have people from all over the world. They come, by the way. Canadians, Europeans, Australia. There's a lot of different people who come. So it's very nice. It's a nice place to network also, to meet new people. And you don't have to come for all the 16 nights. You can come for 1 night, 10 nights, 2 weeks, whatever you want. Any other comments or questions? Yes.
Majority of Muslims, especially right here, are non-Arab speaking. And even the Arab speaking ones, they don't possess a command of the Arab language that would really help them as far as Quran, etc., etc. Do you think there's any value at all, or any sort of prudence in trying to encourage, especially for the things that don't involve, like it's not a wajib act for, like for example, salat contracts that have to be recited in Arabic? Would it be better for certain things to be recited in, for example, English, in like centers especially? I mean, because the contention that I have for myself is this something that I have to work on? Should I improve my Arabic first, or should we try to at least encourage getting the translations read instead, so that people have a better connection to the du'as or other things that are read?
So what you're saying is, besides the prayer and the contract,
anything that doesn't require Arabic to be read specifically.
Okay, that's a good question. Dua, when dua is recited, it can be recited in English. But you lose the spirit, because Arabic has a unique quality of expression. And I think it's incumbent upon us as Muslims especially to learn the language that Allah has given to us, which is the language in Arabic. Now, we don't have to know how to speak Arabic. I don't think that's a necessity. What we need to know is to know what we're reading. Now, humans are very intelligent beings. And if you have a code